think it's time we have a little fun. It's raining out. I hate rain. So, here's what I got. I got a 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee. And the problem with this car is that right now it's in no start condition. And what will happen is, if I turn the key on, you'll see my security indicator will stay on solid. There it is, okay. And the check engine light doesn't light. Well, not too worried about the check engine light not lighting right off the bat. But usually when the check engine light doesn't light, we're all told, oh, you go shoot right out there and check the powers and grounds. I'm going to tell you, make sure you go in there first and see if you can actually communicate. Go into engine, we communicate just fine. So TPS being one of the items there, if I step on the throttle, you'll see it changes. So PCM communicates. The PCM is going to set a code. And the reason I'm making this video is because I don't want to go stand out there. I get a code in there for no cluster bus message. And when I hit enter or page back, it's going to probably tell me I have one other code. Yep, there it is. One trip failure, page back to read. And the one trip failure says no skim bus message received. Alright. So, do I have to worry about powers and grounds at the computer? I would say no. Right? Everything is there. My 5-volt references obviously are there. I'm communicating with it just fine. But yet, it says it can't communicate with the cluster and it can't communicate with the skim. So let's go back out and let's go for the skim. And the skim might take a moment, as it always does. And we'll wait a moment for that. In the meantime here, get out your wiring diagram. Go to BBB Industries. Get the free wiring diagram, 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4.0, and I want you to find the information bus wiring diagram, the one that gives us our data lines. Pause the video now if you want, but then you're going to be able to keep up with me. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I will not be standing outside in that rain, and I'm going to make a call on this car that I know is going to be correct, not because of experience, but because I've looked at a wiring diagram. I sat out here in the rain and said, how can I identify what's wrong with this car without even getting out and just sitting my butt here in the driver's seat? So come on, skim. By the way, you see that check engine light's on right now? That's normal. After a period of time there, if the instrument cluster hasn't received anything from the engine to say turn on the check engine light, it will automatically do it itself. Doesn't mean that the engine is telling it to, or the engine control module is telling it to turn on the light. It just simply means that the light is going to come on just to indicate that it's there and that it's bulb check. There it is, PCI skim, so it communicates. If I go into read the codes there, serial link external failure, PCM status failure. So I want you to think about this. Look at that wiring diagram that you have in front of you. And I want you to look at two different things. One is there's an SCI receive line and an SCI transmit line. Those lines are lines from the computer to our scan tool. That's what they are. That's how we're talking. When we're talking to the computer, or the engine computer in this car, we're talking to it on the SCI line. We're not talking to it on the other line, which we're talking to here on the skim, and this would be the PCI bus. So PCI bus, if it was down, I wouldn't be able to communicate with skim. SCI bus, if it was down, I wouldn't be able to talk to PCM out there at all. But I still have a PCM status failure, but I have a PCM that's awake, can communicate fine, and everything is there. Now, history on this car. They had it in there for an oil change, and they decided that they were going to do a few other things, check the brake lights. They wanted to change out the brake light bulbs. The battery in this thing was absolutely terrible. But the battery went nearly dead right away. Of course, they went to go crank it and try to start it, and that was the end of that. They did not want to start again. And so here's the problem. Our PCM failed when all this happened. And I'm sure of it because my PCM failed on the PCI bus side. Not completely uncommon. I mean, I've seen this before. Again, I'm not going off of experience here. I'm going to make my diagnostic call based upon that wiring diagram and having this scan tool in front of me and determining which way I'm communicating. So our PCI bus line is down right now at that PCM. No wires were touched. Nothing was moved out there. Everything is right where it should be. But the problem that we have with this car is that the PCI is not responding. In other words, the PCM is not responding at all on the PCI bus. All the other modules can, because that's how we're communicating with them here. And I can go out just to show you. Let me not clear that code. And I'm going to go body interior, and then I'm going to go to the MIC, which is the cluster. And this will be just more further verification here that our PCI bus is awake. I'll give it a moment. No response from Mick. Actually, maybe not. Let's see. Let's go back. Press any key to continue. Come on, stay focused. It might be. Let's see. No. Let's go down to airbag. Let's just see that in there as well. Go to airbag. There we are. So here I am. PCI bus. It even tells you there, right? I don't know if the PCI bus will give you a code, or I should say the airbag will give you a code for the PCM. Now I'm curious. No DTCs detected. That MIC, by the way, that's going to be an issue there where the cluster itself is actually not going to talk to the scan tool. I've had that a couple of times. I don't know why it does that, but I know for sure that it does respond. As a matter of fact, yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to do it on this one. I'm sorry. I was going to see if we could do the self-test on it, but there's no real sense in it. All we're going to be doing is doing the cycling the key on and off. But actually, I guess I could try that. Let's do it anyway. 1, 2, 3. And we'll wait to see whether or not it goes into test mode. 1, 2, 3. No test mode. See how the PCM is not speaking to it there on the PCI bus? But we know it's there. And we know it has its powers and grounds because it does everything else that we want it to do. So, again, this is more of a me sitting in the seat and making a diagnostic call based upon wiring diagram and the information that I have in front of me. I don't have a PCI bus that's actually down. I don't have a problem with my SCI lines because I can communicate back and forth with the PCM. But the PCM is no longer on the PCI bus. And that's the portion of it that failed. And that's about it. So I'm going to post this up there. I'll wait for the comments to roll in.